I got something a bit different for you today. You may or you may not have seen these. This is the Team TRX404UK, a radio that came out I think circa about 1987 here in the UK, and then they subsequently made a PR27 version of this as well later on. But this is the 2781 version, which is much rarer, and I've certainly not seen many of these come up for sale on eBay over the years, and so when I saw this one come up recently, I thought I would definitely go for it because they really don't come up often. On first glance it looks in really good condition. The case looks good. The front fascia here, I think someone's tried to glue it back to the radio there a little bit, so there's a little bit of smudge marks around there, but we can sort that out. Some of you might notice that it's not the proper channel knob on here. It should have a fluted knob such as this one, so I'll either look around, see if I can get another one, or obviously we'll manufacture one that looks exactly the same as the original. That being said, I think I do have a knob that would work a lot better. I've always liked this knob, which I think came off as a Target amplifier, so if that one fits on there okay, that one might do. But the only thing with this radio is, which you'll see in a little bit later on, it does have illuminated dials, and so this one might be a little bit too big for that. So it was one of the first that I saw with illuminated dials, this set. It was something they started to do as far back as the mid to late 80s. Now, another feature of this radio, which some of you might know, is that it has a selective cool feature, which you can use by attaching a separate unit to the side of this and then selectively cool the radios. Now, Richard from UK CB Servicing has done a video on that, so I'm not going to cover that in this video, so if you want to go onto his channel and look at how that's done, to use that feature of course you would need another one of these radios, and crikey, it's hard enough getting hold of one, let alone two. So radio comes with a VSQ option, which is an automatic squelch function basically, and a Roger beep, which you know I love. And then one big Brucey bonus is that the radio comes with the original factory Team microphone, and it looks to be in pretty good condition. Does that look like the original plug? Yeah, I'd say that's the original plug on it as well, and that looks in pretty good nick too, as does the cable. So Uniden type connector, original one there. So I think we'll take it, we'll plug it in. I have had the top case off it already, just to check something on the inside. We'll plug it in and we'll take some measurements. Alright, we'll put the power on. You can see I turned the lights down just to give you a better idea of the back glow. It's quite a nice look to it. Now there's only one issue I can see at the moment, and that does look like we're not getting any illumination on the bar graph here. We've certainly got a bit of noise there, but I don't remember the seller mentioning the fact that that's gone. So that might be an issue. It might just be that it's been turned down, or I need to get hold of the driver chip for that. So I'll have a look at the circuit diagram. I have got a circuit diagram which I've gone through, and I've done my usual print off of the radio showing all of the adjustment points and everything. So that's a bit of a shame, and the seller certainly didn't mention that in the listing. And it kind of looked from the photographs that they were working, but clearly they're not working. So there's a few nice features which I like. Notice the mute little light that comes up there. That's quite interesting. And the Roger beep comes on. You've got your Roger beep light and your VSQ when your VSQ light comes on. So in terms of looks, it does look really good. So we'll take some measurements. And then I'll have a dig around, see if I can see first why that's not lighting up. I'm sure I can fix that. Well, that's some good news on transmit. On transmit, as you can see, we've got the displays lighting up, and it's doing just over 4 watts. I'll just show you that on the meter. Right, deviation testing. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Just a little bit low, 1.8 kilohertz. We'll have to bring that up a bit. Alright, so frequency is a little bit high at 27.79144, but we can bring that down a bit, toggling 145 there, but we'll bring it down just a little notch. On receive, it's doing 0.98 microvolts for 12 dB synad. Sounds a little bit strangled, so hopefully we can sort that out. The transmit frequency adjust is the top one of those two green trimmers you see in the shot there on the left, and so that's the transmit one. We've got that absolutely spot on, 2779125. Now we'll do the transmit power section. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These two are hidden underneath this metal plate here, and these three here don't have any cores in, so if you've got one of these and you see that they're missing, don't worry, they're not supposed to be there. We're already doing 4 watts, but we'll just optimise it and check it on the spectrum analyzer to make sure we've not got any harmonics. Right, we'll just sort the deviation out using the tuner, and that is the lower of the three here. We've got selective call sensitivity adjust, the one at the top there. The second one down is the, I think that's the squelch. Yeah, it's the squelch. And then this one here, which is the deviation. So we'll just set that off camera and bring that up to 2.2 to 2.5. And we'll just go back to power. We just want to adjust the power meter on transmit. So the 4th bar just comes in. Okay. And we'll do that with the potentiometer that is just there, the lower of those two. The lower one is the TX adjustment, and the one that's hiding underneath the cell core socket is the RX meter adjustment. But unfortunately, as you know, we haven't got any display there thus far. I switch the Roger beep option on. It's a little bit quiet and it gets lost in the squelch tail a little bit, but it is there nonetheless, and you know me, I'll have a Roger beep. So that's the Roger beep tested. I think we need to move on to the receive. I'm going to pop down and have something to eat, and then we'll bring you back up here and crack on. Right, with a bit of a clean of the potentiometer, we've now got the RX lights coming up, and in an ideal world we would adjust it for 100 microvolts just on 4. So I'm gonna do that. So it's just coming in, because it seems a little bit lazy to me anyway, so I'm going to err on the side of generosity here, and we'll just try a local signal with the Randy, see if it lights it up. I've got the Randy in this hand, and there we go. It's lighting up. I mean, these signal meters are only relative to the load. I mean, they don't mean anything once you plug them into the antenna, of course, and everyone's reads differently, and I'm not a big fan of giving out readings off of meters, and particularly ones that are, of course, only 25% per slot here. So for receive, there's not really much doing really. We've got the top 3 cans here, and then a little bit further down we've got the FM detector, which is just hiding down there. So nothing too exciting. I'll try and squeeze a little bit more out of it off of camera, and then bring you back and see if we've improved things. To get a bit up with the detector, brought it up quite a lot there, and it's now doing 0.6 of a microvolt for 12 dB synad. It's a very, very weak squelch. The only sense of adjustment I could get was by adjusting it on the auto squelch setting, and the auto squelch setting works quite well. Very, very sensitive on the auto squelch setting. So in use I would probably use that, and unfortunately the anything over about 5 microvolts and you can't squelch it out, which really I'm pretty much looking for weak signals these days, so it's not a major issue, but that's as good as I can do, and I'm not going to change the original circuit. If that's how badly it worked, that's how badly it worked. And I do have the wiring diagram. It is available if you go to Blunham, blunham.com. The guy there has got lots of schematics for radios, and he's reproduced some as well. So I've got the schematic, quite a complicated radio really. It looks pretty much untouched on the back. I've not had any microphony issues since, so we'll keep an eye on that. But like I say, it's not a daily driver radio, and you can spend a lot of time hunting out the microphony issues. Now, one thing I would probably like to do is try and get this knob situation sorted out. So that's probably another video going there, I suppose. We'll take this knob off and have a little look and see what we're looking at. But as far as I'm aware, well, you can tell this is a fluted knob, and this definitely doesn't look the right knob, does it? It looks more like something off of a hi-fi 1980s hi-fi, doesn't it? So okay, we'll perhaps just wait for Mick a little bit later on, and we'll get Mick on and see what he thinks to this Team TRX404UK. Not to be confused with the PR27 radio, because if it was a PR27 version I probably wouldn't have bought it, because not so interested. But this is good. I'm pleased I've got this one. Very rare indeed. I just peeled the front plate back just to put some double-sided tape on there. I'll just peel the backing off that now and stick that back flush to stop it sticking out so much. Quite an easy shape to draw this, really. Dropped off into Design Spark and had a little go, and if we just spin it around, it's a fluted control knob with 12 subsections. I had a quick look at a few online videos, M6 hole in the bottom of it, and this literally took 5 minutes to design up in Design Spark. Really quite straightforward. So hopefully that'll match the existing knob, or say the existing knob, the proper knob, and then I run that into the Lychee slicer here, which is I've just for an experiment printed it flat on the bed this time, and it's come out really nice. So I've got it out in the garden. I've just given it a coat of varnish, and it didn't take long to do this. I think it was about half an hour, 50 minutes, I think. Yeah. I'd say what I do love about this technology is how it doesn't matter if I put 10 on there, if I could fit them on the plate, it would still take that amount of time, because it's printed in layers at a time. So yeah, I think that matches the original one pretty darn close. I'll pop up a picture of the original knob on there, and afterwards we can see how good or bad it looks. But I could show it you now, it's still drying, but you know me, I always grab hold of stuff well before I should do, and I should leave it to dry really. So I've got one printed off. I'm going to do one without the varnish and one with varnish and see which one I prefer anyway. Well, there we go. Well, these things don't have to look perfect, do they? It looks pretty good though. Pretty pleased with that. The varnish has still got to dry a little bit, and yeah, I think I could probably do with a new film on my resin printer. Well, that's certainly done the job anyway, and that's all it needed to do. And I think it definitely looks a lot better than the original little dial there. And you've still got enough space to get the glow effect around the outside edge. That was part of the reason for making it 28mm, I think. Just turn the outside lights off. So we've still got the glow around the control knob, which is what we wanted. And there we go. There's all your points for testing. I mean, you'd have spotted them on the video anyway, I'm sure, but I mean, how many of you are going to have these radios to set up anyway? You can always send them to me if you don't fancy doing it, and I'll always do it for you. So there you go. Right, I've dimmed the lights down a little bit just to show you the green effect around the dials. I think it looks pretty swift, doesn't it? Looks nice. So yeah, Mick is about. He's just setting up the recording setup at his end, and we'll do a radio test. Conditions seem to have quietened off a little bit, so hopefully we should be okay. So we'll just wait for Mick to come back in. Right, bus stop. I wonder if you're out there. I wonder if you can hear my dulcet tones. I'm on a Team
TRX404, the UK version, the 2781 version, not the PR27 version. Quite a hard radio to get hold of, and I've cleaned this one up and tuned it and made a nice control knob for it, so I'm really pleased. So I wonder what it sounds like to you over there.
Yeah, thank you, Paul, that's all fine, and your audio coming across to me is very good indeed. Harnesses make this end as usual, otherwise known as bus stop. So yes, your audio is very crisp and clear, and I do like it. And it's also on the new radio that you have supplied to me, that you have serviced, and it sounds beautiful. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, that's a rather nice one. I've not yet really had a bad one of those DXs. So
yeah, I'm glad that you're happy with that there, Nick. certainly sound great on that one. I'll let you stop the recording at your end, and we've got another radio to test for another video, so we'll do that. So thanks again.
Right, well I hope you've enjoyed that. I've certainly enjoyed playing around with this Team TRX. Like I say, it's quite a rare beast these days, and I'm really pleased with how the control knobs come out. It's slightly longer, I think, than the original knob, but that suits me with my big sausagey fingers, so that's not a bad thing at all. Right, okay, if you have been and you've watched right to the end of the video, I really appreciate that. If you haven't already done so, can you please subscribe? That really helps me when you do that. And obviously click the like if you've enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care, 73.